Samantha has to function with a past that she doesn't really remembers or anything. What's the biggest challenge for her to reinvent her life?
Well, I think, I mean, it just first and foremost as an actress playing it, what we do when we look at a character is if it's not on the page, I mean, you go back and you create a history for that person so that everything that they're doing makes sense and everything. Then once you have that history, then you really can kind of let all that go and get into the character and how they respond and how they feel and innately and in their fibers of their being. But here's a character who doesn't have that, doesn't have a history. So that was difficult at first to really kind of figure out what that felt like, what that must feel like to be completely empty of when you were 3 years old and not knowing what that is. So it's been wonderful to watch her grow and to develop a history. So now she's 2 years old. She's got all these experiences, which are now creating the person that she is and is going to continue to grow as. So it's a little bit easier now to play her than it was at first.
Well,
Christina, can you set the tissue on your knee or
Oh.
just when you're talking?
Sorry, gross, I know.
no, it was fine. How do you balance the comedic aspects of the show in the more dramatic moments in such a comfortable way?
Well, I think that the greatest comedy, I mean, always comes from reality. If you don't have it situated or based in reality, then it's just slapstick and it's just, you know, for set up joke, ba-dum-bum. But so everything comes from that base, and then what I used to call it is twinkling above it, where you root it into that reality, and then you kind of have to let go a little bit of that so that your audience doesn't get frightened by you, and then the comedy can really happen. Humans are funny, and we do things that are ridiculous, like you ever watch someone cry? I mean, really, it's kind of funny, you know? Everyone has their funny way of crying or their funny way of falling, or there are things that happen in life that are funny.
What keeps you going as an actress? Is it the passion for the craft, or?
Absolutely. I mean, I've never been one to get involved in sort of the other aspect of all of this. Fame and all of that is really not even secondary. It's kind of like not even a part of it for me. I love doing what I do, and I think that's probably why I've been doing it as long and keep sort of sustaining it, because it always comes back to, do you love this, what you do? And if you don't love it, then you shouldn't do it.
Christina, this is going to be shown through different territories, and they're going to be seeing the second season of your show.
Oh,
what
cool.
can we expect on the second season? Any surprises? And
That's right, you guys haven't had that yet. Yeah, there's a lot of surprises. Our finale is quite exceptional, so you'll have to kind of wait a while to get to that. But the episodes that are coming up, the first few, are very big. We decided to kind of start the second season with kind of big shows, dance shows, and there's a great episode which is all pretty much told in flashback. So it's all Bad Sam with like little tiny bits of Good Sam. So that's a great episode. We have a lot of those kind of like really high concept episodes coming up.
is it hard for you to play a character who has a past but she doesn't remember, but at the same time she's trying to transform herself into a good individual?
Yeah, I mean, that's been our challenge, not only as an actress, but also as the writers have had a real challenge trying to figure out what that is. And oftentimes they'll write things, a reaction for Samantha that isn't from the 2 years that she's experienced. Everything has to be really kind of from the 2 years that she's experienced, everything that she does now. There's still innately in her past, but everything else kind of has to come out of what's only happened in these 2 years. So she can't say something to her mother like, yeah, that worked when I was 5. We one time had that. She doesn't remember being 5, so she can't have those kinds of conversations with people.
Considering that TV, the small screen, is much more intimate because you become part of our dinner table in a way.
Yeah.
Do you feel a certain responsibility as an actress and to deliver good stuff? And
Absolutely. I mean, I feel that way as a viewer. You know, I want my programming to be something that I would invite into my home and characters that aren't scary or that I'm put off by. So when you do television, you have to always remember that. You have to remember the broad spectrum of the homes that you're coming into, and if there are children watching, or, you know, you have a responsibility to an extent.